Okay. Alright, we're live. Let me make sure mic check. Everything looks good. Water, I got my water. This will probably be a short stream. We'll talk about PC builds, any PC building advice, viewer questions. I'll be answering any viewer questions. And I think we're good. Let me make sure that yeah, I guess we're good. Okay. Okay, I need to finish the event. Get a look at the preview here. I guess they do that to save bandwidth, but anyway. I like this museum. I hope that once the event is over, I hope this museum doesn't go away. Because I worked so hard to build this museum up. If they just take it away after, what, 9 days? 8 days and 7 hours? That'll be a real shame if they close this whole place down. So we'll wait for the viewer. Ooh, this looks cool. Oh, this is actually the lance. They call it a lance. It looks like a sword to me. A buster sword, but it's a lance. So I think there's one, two, there's like nothing right here. So there's two, and there's probably like one other one somewhere. Alright, let's, is there something in here? See, I collected all of these. I hope that this place stays open. We'll finish this, and then I'll probably switch over to Star Wars here in a little bit. Day 59. Upgrade Industrial Hall to level 9. And complete one round of management. The Industrial Hall... If I level it up... Uh-oh. Well, we got 800,000. Okay, that was easy. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I decided to do a short stream just to see if... Because Marcelo and one other... I think there was 2 viewers that asked me if I was going to do a Saturday stream. And I said I might. So I decided to do it. I don't know how long it'll be. We can talk about PC hardware in this one if you want. I didn't really have like a particular gaming agenda this time around compared to last time. Like, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out on Wednesday. I think it's midnight. I forget exactly the time that game comes out, but that's my most anticipated game of the year. I've been waiting for Final Fantasy 16 for a very long time. And like I said on the previous stream, if anyone has a PlayStation 5, or if they're open to getting one, and if they're a big fan of the Game of Thrones series, Final Fantasy 16 is actually probably going to be really, really good. For people who like Game of Thrones and, well, video games. I don't have any other way to summarize it. That's basically what it is. So, either of those, I recommend it. I'm not a huge fan of Game of Thrones, but a lot of people have been comparing 16 to Game of Thrones. And I have seen a few episodes of Game of Thrones, and I agree from what I know of that series, that franchise. I think 16 actually feels very similar to it in certain ways. You're setting up the... Oh, did you got the hero? What happened? Didn't you have one earlier? Like, didn't you have a Crosshair hero previously? Or did you just have the Ace? I thought you had the Ace and the Hero. Or was that the Z790? Because you have an X670E Ace, you have a Z790 Oris Master, and then I thought you had a Hero X670E, or maybe that was the Intel board? I forgot. Because you know what I've got? I've got the... Well, actually, right now, all of my current generation motherboards are all Gigabyte. Oh, okay, yeah. I figured it was one of those. Because the Crosshair branding is very famous. Like, Crosshair for AMD from Asus has a lot of historical significance. Because when Asus first started the Republic of Gamers branding, the very first motherboard that they made with the ROG branding was the Crosshair motherboard. It was the Crosshair Formula, was what it used to be called. Actually, for a while, the Crosshair Formula, there was the Formula, then the Hero came out, and the Hero was like right below the Formula, but then they made the Extreme. So the Formula for a while was like the best one, but then they made the Extreme, which was beyond the Formula. So it was Extreme, Formula, Hero, and then Strix came out later at some point. But it always used to be the Crosshair. As long as you knew the name Crosshair, you knew that was like an enthusiast Asus motherboard for an AMD chipset. The Master went kaput? Really? Wait, how can you return motherboards that are way past like 90 days to Micro Center? Isn't there like a 30-day maximum return window? Oh wait, I gotta do like there's a quest I gotta do. What's your opinion? I'm curious because you've tested so many different motherboards recently. What is your opinion of the different BIOS, like the user interface between the different vendors that you've come across? I don't know if you've used an ASRock motherboard. That's the only one that I actually have very, very little experience. The only time I've ever operated within an ASRock BIOS was I was helping a friend do something on their PC, like to set up, I think, like XMP or something on a Ryzen
server's still not open.
3600X or something. Maybe it was a 5600X. I can't remember. But anyway, I was helping them like set some stuff in the BIOS after updating the BIOS, and it was an ASRock motherboard. So that's the only time I've ever actually been in an ASRock board, because it was kind of weird, like trying to poke around and try to figure out where's the setting to turn on. I need to turn the sound down. This sounds like really loud. Here, let me like lower that. There, that's better. What do I need to do? I need to do weeklies. But yeah, I've only ever used ASRock a handful of times. So I kind of told myself the other day, my next motherboard will probably be an ASRock motherboard. Just that way I can say that I have had hands-on experience, long-term experience with all 4 different vendors. So, because, you know, you read online, people say Asus is the best, others will say Asus is the worst because they got burned by Asus one way or another. That's bound to happen when you're the majority share leader, because Asus does have the most market share by quite a bit compared to the other 3. But I don't know, in my experience, MSI has actually been the most reliable. Well, I won't say reliable. I've never had a problem where a motherboard like died on me. Like, all my motherboards have always like outlasted the useful lifespan of the processor. But I've never had any problems with any of them, actually. So it's like, Gigabyte is the most recent one. So historically, when I first started building PCs, the very first motherboard I had was an EVGA. And that one, the BIOS was the old school, like it's a blue menu, the American Megatrends, you know, the basic UI, no mouse controls, nothing like that. That was my very first one. Then my second motherboard was an Asus motherboard. And my third one was like another Asus motherboard. So I used Asus for quite a number of years. Then when I switched from AMD to Intel 10 years ago, I might add, I tried an MSI motherboard. So when I switched to Intel, I got an MSI board, and that one was actually pretty good. Like the MSI menu has been the same since around like 2013, maybe even 2012, 2011. But I didn't have any problems with my MSI Z87. And then I had that all the way until Ryzen, like first gen Ryzen. First gen Ryzen came out, I got Asus, again, Crosshair Hero 6. And then I had Asus, I got Crosshair Hero 8 in 2019 because X570 was significantly better for memory overclocking than old school T-topology X370. So I had X570, Asus Crosshair Hero 8, and then now I'm, you know, on Gigabyte. So it's like all my current generation stuff is Gigabyte. Like my X670E, my X670, they're both Gigabyte boards. So, and I never used Gigabyte until recently, and I haven't had any problems with them. So I think they're fine. Like, so I don't know. Like a lot of people seem to say that one is bad and another is great, but I personally think that they're all pretty much very similar. I think MSI, historically, at least in the past, with AMD, was the slowest one to add features like OC mode and that sort of thing, or being able to use P-state overclocking. So that sort of thing was something that MSI was a little bit slower to roll out. Am I trying the green screen setup, or is this some sort of OBS plugin? So I'm using the green screen. I'm doing the green screen. So it's like you guys can see, like, I think the chroma key is working, yeah. So let me see, is there any green on this lightsaber? No. Here's a green cup. Let's see how this looks. Okay, yeah, see? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, I'm using an actual green screen. The problem with you can use a like a machine learning based filter plugin, but it doesn't really work that well. Like you have to mess with the thresholds, and I don't know, it can make the stream lag, it can make my camera lag, so it's like now it's better to just use a green screen. I don't know. I might use the green screen for other things, like for other... I'm trying to think of like ideas to use it with videos as opposed to just streaming, but I could use it just for this, I guess. What's cool about it is I can move it around. It's a mobile green screen. It's not like a fixed one that goes up on a wall. So I can fold it up, and it's easy to move around. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try this and see how this looks. Most are similar to modern CPUs. Many components are integrated into the CPU anyway, leaves less to go wrong on the board. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, Joey was saying UEFI. You like them all, Gigabyte, Asus, and MSI. There are some features that I like in some. You know, MSI has that memory try it feature, which is actually really nice. But Asus was the first to roll out like those, what I call kind of like hacks for getting like better Cinebench scores, because you know how Asus has those like profiles inside the ROG motherboards. I think it's only for the ROG boards, but they have like Cinebench R15 profile, Cinebench R20, R23 profile. To me, I feel like that's kind of borderline cheating. So because it's like they're taking a lot of the fun out of you actually trying to tweak the processor. But MSI had that notorious, like, remember the big red button, the overclock button on the MSI boards? I think they got rid of it. That knob, remember the knob that could go up to like level 5? You could do like a level 5 overclock, a button overclock, or a knob. You just crank it. That thing never worked. It never worked the way it was supposed to. It basically overvolted the CPUs that were subject to that red button. It was really bad. Man, that's weird. Like, a green cup, like, is...
Server's still not open.
Alright, what do I need to do? You have X670 ASRock Steel. Man, I kind of want that board, by the way, but I can't justify buying another. I can't justify. Like I was telling Met the other day, because Met recently built a Linux box with his 6900 XT. I was thinking of doing the same thing, but at the end of the day, I was like,
Server's still not open.
I don't know. I can't justify spending more money on computer hardware right now. Right now, we're in that kind of, you know, that... This is the part of the year where if you haven't already upgraded, now is actually a really good time to consider upgrading. Otherwise, if you wait until the fall, you're basically going to be stuck between deciding whether or not the Raptor Lake refresh is worth upgrading to as a absolute final platform that you're going to be locked in on for several years versus like Zen 5, which is like first half next year. So that's the thing. So it's like, if anybody, I think Hardware Unboxed recently did a video on like CPUs, best CPUs based off of a category, and I agree with their conclusion. Like what Steve said in that video, like if you haven't upgraded until now, and if you're on DDR3, the best upgrade is probably Zen 4, because that gives you a runway to additional upgrades years down the line without having to change your setup, without having to buy a new board, etc. Reactivate Windows and all the hoodles, or all the hurdles that you have to go through. But if you're... Like, if you want 13th generation right now, it's not a bad platform. It is a mature platform. You get a better DDR5 memory controller. You're not going to have to wait until next year on AMD to come out with a better memory controller, because that's pretty much the Achilles heel right now for AMD. But AMD is, you know, like the X3D CPUs are really fast, they're very energy efficient, and you have an upgrade path. So it's really hard. I mean, at the end of the day, if you go AMD or Intel, it doesn't really matter. I would have to give the advantage to AMD only because it has the energy efficiency advantage. It has that longevity upgrade path that Intel doesn't have right now. So just those two things, I think, are the main things that if I was someone right now who was still on like Zen 2 or Zen 1 or something really old like Skylake, Kaby Lake, Coffee Lake, etc., like anything from Intel's 9th generation and older, I would consider Zen 4 right now, because I think that's probably the most logical path. Do you want a Linux box for learning or for gaming on? Both. I mean, I used to have a Linux box, but what I ended up doing with it was I reformatted the drive and installed Windows on it for my Threadripper system. Actually, no, it wasn't Threadripper. It was a different... I forget what PC was running on. I had a Linux box a while ago, like a couple of years ago, like four years ago. I forget exactly, but anyway, I had Ubuntu installed on an SSD. It was a 2.5-inch SSD, so a SATA SSD, and I mean, I did stuff with it. Like I tested emulating like routers and stuff, and that's basically the gist of it. I installed Steam on it back then. I played like Monster Hunter World and a few games on it, like Tekken. I think Tekken 7 was another game that I tested. I tested like a handful of games on the Linux box back then, but this was like 2019, 2018 time frame is when I had that box. So, I mean, I was thinking of like getting another one or building another one. I mean, I could find like some old hard drive or some SSD that I'm not using, although I think I am actually using all of them right now. But I could, I don't know. I've got plenty of graphics cards to connect for one, like set aside for it. Like I could do 6900 XT, I could do 6950 XT. So if I wanted to make a modern platform, I'd have to buy an AMD motherboard, because I have 64 gigabytes of DDR5 just sitting around doing nothing, and I have a Ryzen 7 7700X that's literally just sitting in the box doing absolutely nothing. So if I were to buy a motherboard, like a really cheap AMD motherboard, I could build a Linux box again. So I've been considering it. It'll definitely be like a cheaper motherboard though. I don't want to put like any kind of crazy amounts of money into it. I'd have to leverage an old power supply, a previous generation graphics card, etc. to actually do all of that. So, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to take a picture of this thing? This? Oh, this. Wait, what? This is supposed to be like... What is this supposed to even be? Anyway, there is almost no need for anything newer than 5800X for Linux. Yeah, see, the other predicament that I'm in is if I wanted to use an older platform, I would have to buy DDR4 memory. So either way, I have to buy like a cheap AMD AM5 motherboard, or I have to buy DDR4. And I would rather not buy DDR4 in 2023. I feel like that's going in the wrong direction. So, meaning the only other way I could build a Linux box is to resurrect my really old DDR3 platforms. Either the really old Intel Haswell or the the AMD FX 8350. So I would rather not use either one of them because it's like if I do that and I like do stuff with Linux on such an old platform, I'm sure it'll run fine, but performance-wise, it's not going to be very representative of the modern era, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Psycho. Like, what I'll probably do is I'll just, like, wait around until I see, like, a Micro Center deal for a really, really cheap, like, B650 or something. Like maybe a micro ATX. I don't have a small form factor chassis, like a case. I have a really old NZXT case that I can build it in that I'm not using from like 2010 or 2009. It was like my second PC build. That case is still around. It's like roasting in an attic. So I can dig that thing out and use that as the case. You have a 5700X, and yeah. Oh, dual booted. Okay, yeah, dual booting. See, when you dual boot, though, don't you have to... Well, actually, that's like running a VM inside your main, like the main OS. How is that? How does that work? How's the 770 on ARC? Or on Linux? Joey, you were saying, does your master have a backplate? Yes, it does. The Aorus Master is extremely heavy because of the backplate. Yeah, Gigabyte... I think Gigabyte was actually the very first to put a backplate on a motherboard. I want to say it was either the X570 Aorus Master or whatever the Skylake one or Coffee Lake one was the first one. The Aorus Extreme was the very... Or maybe it was Aorus Master. Maybe they didn't have Aorus Extreme back then. I forget. But I think Gigabyte was actually the first to put a backplate on the motherboard. And then everybody else followed them. What I have noticed is either Asus or Gigabyte are usually the first to innovate with some kind of new thing, and then depending on how popular it is, it ends up showing up in every single vendor's motherboards on the next generation. It works on certain games, but most of them don't work, and is even harder to use than the 1600 XT. Does it do anything weird? I ran into a problem with the Intel GPU when I when I have it connected and I have an AMD card or an NVIDIA card in the same PC. So I've noticed this. Like if I have an AMD GPU in the top slot with the monitors connected to it, and then if I install an NVIDIA GPU underneath it as a secondary GPU, no issues. If I do it the other way around, NVIDIA as the primary with the GPU or with the monitors, then I have the AMD card underneath it, no problems. But if I go and I put Intel's GPU as the second GPU, where nothing's connected to it, it's just like in the motherboard, I have a weird problem where if I'm playing a game, usually it's fine, but if I start playing a game, and if I Alt-Tab over to like another monitor, or to like a web browser or something, there's like a half a second lag. Where the whole PC just like freezes, and then it's okay. It freezes and it's okay. And it happens all the time. I figured it out that it was the Intel card, because at first I thought, is it some like driver thing? And then I tried the older driver, didn't do anything. So then I took out the Intel GPU and the problem went away. So I've ran into that weird problem where it introduces some kind of weird, like, I don't know, some kind of latency. It's worse than like micro stutter. But it only happens when you're switching between applications. And the Intel GPU is the second GPU. I have not tested it where Intel's the primary GPU, where the monitors are connected to it, and then like I have another, like an AMD card or something, like plugged in as a secondary. I have not tested that scenario. I just found it super annoying, so I took it out. Because remember, like the whole point of me doing that was to use the Arc GPU as an AV1 encoder, or to give me access to QuickSync on a Ryzen CPU based system, while also having like a more powerful GPU, like a 3090 Ti or a 7900 XT, for instance, as a primary GPU, and also being able to leverage Intel's QuickSync, as well as the Ryzen CPU, the X3D V-Cache. So, yeah, it's just because of that weird problem, I just took it out. I'm like, yeah, no. And then DaVinci Resolve recently got it. Well, I think it was a few months ago. Like DaVinci Resolve added the AV1 support for the Radeon cards for the 7000 series. So that basically killed off any need for me to use the Arc GPU for AV1. So kind of a bummer for Intel, but it's like, well, I would have kept it in there if it didn't cause that weird like lag spike every time I would Alt-Tab between a game and like some other application. You only have one GPU in at a time in that system, though. Oh, you know what? I didn't use DDU, but yesterday, or I think it was yesterday evening or something, like I did remove all the drivers from my benchmark PC because I don't know, I think it was the drivers from the 7600 or it was Arc. It was one or the other, but there was a problem where DaVinci Resolve, I updated DaVinci Resolve, and then DaVinci Resolve said I have no compatible graphics card installed. So then I was like, wait a minute. So I rolled back DaVinci Resolve, and it still said I have no GPU installed. So then I installed an older AMD driver, and it still said I had no then I was like, okay, wait a minute. I opened GPU Z, and GPU Z had like 3 things that were unknown. Like it couldn't read 3 things off of the GPU. And this was on the 7900 XT, so I'm like, okay, now I think I need to DDU because there's like way too many drivers. Because I opened up the in the C drive, you know how like all your NVIDIA drivers are in an NVIDIA GeForce folder, and then all your AMD ones are in the AMD folder. And then I don't know where the Intel ones go, but they're something similar. So I opened up the AMD folder, and there was like 20 different drivers in there going as far back as like 2021. Or something like that, and I was like, yeah, I think it's time to clean this up. So I was going to use DDU, but I decided to use the AMD's own utility. Not the factory restore, or the factory install, because they don't, like, they disabled that for some reason, because people had remember some people had a problem where, like, they would try to update their AMD driver, and then it would blue screen their PC, and then their Windows got black holed and they had to reinstall Windows. Because of that, AMD took away the factory reset option, which is kind of annoying because I had to use their what do they call it? The uninstaller utility thing, and that basically does what DDU set does. Like you open it up and it's like, do you want to reboot in safe mode? Recommended, and I'm like yes. Then it goes into safe mode and then it removes everything. Then it goes back in, and you can tell your drivers are all wiped because it's like you only have one monitor working and it's like 480p resolution or something. Then you have to go in and install the drivers, and then it adds the other two monitors. So yeah, I had to clean it up. It was time, because I remember I told people, like, every time I switch GPUs, I don't bother to use DDU. I just like let Windows like auto install the driver. Then if it's a really old one, I'll install a newer one. But that's the extent of what I do before I test GPUs. Because to me, it's too much unnecessary steps. Like having to DDU just because you change your GPU, to me seems like most of the time it's unnecessary. But after a certain point, there's probably going to be too many different drivers that the OS has, like registries that are linked and pointing to different drivers from older, you know what I mean? So I think part of it, though, is that the 7600 is currently on its own driver fork, and it's not unified. So, and I found that really weird. So until it gets unified, I think that's going to be the problem. Or that's going to be a thing where it's like if you switch between a 7600 and another AMD card, you're probably going to run into some kind of weird issue where Windows gets confused as to which driver to use. So that's just like a FYI for anybody who doesn't know why GPU Z is not able to read all the values on your graphics card. That's why it's really good to have two PCs. It's really good to have two PCs because, like, let me tell you, when I was having that issue where I was like, GPU Z says unknown on the pixel fill rate and unknown on, like, two other things, I go look at my main PC, GPU Z reads everything fine, same exact driver version, and one of them, DaVinci Resolve, works fine. The other one, it says you have no GPU installed. So clearly something's going on. So it really helps to have two PCs. It really does. Like side by side. You only have, yeah. Yeah, usually there's no reason to DDU, because the thing is, like, with drivers look for a hardware signature. And if it's not there, if it's not present, like for example, if you have a Radeon GPU installed and you have GeForce drivers that are just sitting there in the OS, if there's no NVIDIA graphics card installed, the NVIDIA driver will literally just sit there doing absolutely nothing. It's not going to hurt your computer. It's not going to interfere with AMD's driver. It's just it's literally just going to sit there and do nothing. Yeah, I guess for testing the Ryzen CPU is better. I guess it rules out a lot of weird stuff, because the thing with the 10700 is because it has the integrated graphics. I have run into issues in the past where sometimes applications do weird things because you have integrated graphics. Like, I said this, I ran into a problem with Borderlands 3 on Epic Games Store. If you have Intel Arc installed in a PC that has a integrated graphics chip, whether it's Intel or AMD, for whatever reason, it's definitely a bug with Intel's driver. When you try to run Borderlands 3 will always run off of the integrated graphics on your PC. Like in the case of Windows, I manually say use the high performance mode, use the Intel GPU, and I go to launch Borderlands 3, and it still uses the integrated graphics. So those are the sort of things. Like if you're, that's the reason why when I first got the Arc GPU, I ran into a lot of weird problems installing the driver on the 12700K system. So that was, I was like, I'm not gonna show this in the video because this is gonna scare people away from Intel's GPU even more so. So that's the reason why I paired up with the Ryzen CPU, because the Ryzen CPU didn't have the integrated graphics chip because it was a 5800X. I plugged in the Intel GPU, and that forces everything to drive off of the Arc GPU.
The server's still not open.
You need to disable the iGPU if you have a CPU with one and the Arc GPU in the same. But see, some people might not like doing that, though. It creates a lot of weird issues. Like OBS gets confused if you have... So here's an interesting thing. If you have Intel plus Intel, if you have Arc plus, like, you know, integrated graphics on whatever Intel Core CPU, OBS will get so confused, it'll freak out, like, because there's two quick sync things, and it's like, I don't know what to do with this. So you'll start recording, and it'll just, like, crash, or it will just stop, or it just won't do anything. You'll click start streaming, start recording, and it does nothing. This is a problem that I ran into, like, back in the day. Arc plus AMD CPU. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because, well, Arc, let me rephrase that a little bit. Zen 3 plus Arc is an amazing combo. Like, a 5800X 3D plus the A770, I think is a really nice kind of budget build. Because you sidestep all those issues with the integrated graphics. You'll never... Like, somebody who just builds their PC, buys Arc, buys the 5800X 3D, and they start gaming on it, they're probably not going to run into any problems. Like, typically, they're not going to run into any problems. Versus somebody who buys either an Intel CPU that has integrated graphics, or an AMD AM4, which has integrated graphics, and they're going to start playing some games. Most games will be fine. But every now and then, there's going to be that one game like Borderlands 3 that refuses to run on the Intel Arc GPU. And it'll always run on the integrated graphics no matter what. I don't know why. There's probably some registry tweak that you can do to fix it as a workaround. But I haven't been able to find it. That's the sort of thing that if someone's not that technically inclined... They're gonna get mad. They're gonna complain. They're gonna say they should have never bought this stupid Intel GPU, and they should have bought an NVIDIA or even an AMD, and that's how it's gonna play out. And then they'll just have a bad experience. So yeah, I agree. Arc plus AMD CPU plus Intel GPU is actually a pretty good combination. And the cool thing is, if you have Arc with the new Ryzen, the one with the integrated graphics, you can do you can encode using, like, you can use Arc's AV1 encoder to encode something, but then you can also use the Ryzen integrated graphics to encode something else. I found that really interesting. You can actually dual encode. Now, Intel was supposed to allow some kind of, well, I don't think it was dual encode. It was like they were supposed to combine both the iGPU plus the Arc GPU. You're supposed to get some power up where they, like, speed up the encoding so it doesn't take as long. But other than, like, XSplit, I don't know what actually does that. I guess maybe DaVinci Resolve Studio. Yeah, I think DaVinci Resolve Studio, the paid version of DaVinci Resolve, does have that. But I don't have the paid one, so whatever. So something like that. It's kind of weird when competing companies' products actually work better together than when they're just like, you know what I mean? Like that's why I always liked, about a decade ago, I always liked Intel CPU plus AMD GPU. So, like, Intel Core plus Radeon was, like, my favorite combo. And then I would always want to do, like, FX plus GeForce. Like, I've said this, like, 2 or 3 times in different streams. But I've always liked to pair NVIDIA GPUs with AMD CPUs and Intel CPUs with AMD GPUs. I don't know why. I kind of like that weird duality, if you will, of like cross-vendor stuff. Obviously, you can do Intel plus NVIDIA, but Intel plus NVIDIA is so normie boring. So it's like, why would I do that? That's like the most common like OEM thing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stand out. You gotta do things like outside of the norm. All right, what was I gonna do? I was supposed to like talk to this attendant or something. But yeah, I keep thinking about building a Linux box. I just don't want to install it on a really old DDR3 platform that's been sitting around in storage for years. So I might wait for like the opportune time to get a cheap B650. Because I really don't want to buy DDR4 again. I don't know. Unless I can like maybe take some DDR4 from an older system. And run that PC at like 32 gigs of RAM instead of 64 or something like that. Because right now I've got... Actually, right now, every single one of the PCs that I have are like 64 gigabyte based. This PC is 64. The other AMD CPU... The 3D one is 64 gigs. The Intel one is 64 gigs. The old AMD Zen 3 that I don't have immediate access to, that one's also 64 gigs, but it's 2 sticks. Or is it 2 sticks? Might be 4. Maybe I can take some RAM from that. You'll send you a motherboard in DDR4. Well, see, the thing is, I don't really want to use the DDR4 platform. I don't want to use the old... I know, like, I could use... I'll have to look. I'll have to double check and see what I would actually need. I know, like... Bare minimum, if I wanted to do a modern system, I would need an AMD motherboard, like a Zen 4 motherboard or an AM5 motherboard. You could use the old DDR3 as a free BSD box. I don't know. I hope those platforms still work. They've been sitting around roasting in an attic for years. I just hope the caps on them aren't like melted or broken or corroded, because that's the only thing I'm afraid of trying to go back and like power up the old DDR3 platform. The DDR3 memory is fine. That's like in a box somewhere, but the motherboards are not actually in a very good environment with all the humidity, so they'll probably be okay for what we're going to be using them for. I'll have to go back and look. I think I'm supposed to talk to... Am I supposed to just do this? Oh, okay. Upgrade History Culture Hall to level 6. Wow, this is gonna... Uh-oh, I might have messed that up. Now I'm gonna have to actually change the workers. I'll have to like cycle one of these workers out. I need more... I need someone who has like a little bit more of the tour duration. So instead of this guy, I need someone who has like 60 something. This guy almost can do. Wait a minute, this guy? Sampo comes through. Okay. You posted a link to the. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll. Nobara. Okay, I'll check it out. See, the thing is, it's more than just the motherboard or the memory. I gotta make sure I actually have, like, an SSD. The point is, I'm trying not to spend any money on a Linux box. But it's like, I need to find an SSD. I need to find either a motherboard or RAM. Or I just need to find an SSD. If I'm really going to build it on a DDR3 platform, I just have to find an SSD. Because I've got a power supply that I can use. It's an old one. And then I've got like a 600 watt power. Well, no, I don't think I have that one anymore. I think I have like a... Well, I've got a power supply. And then I have a really old case that doesn't have any USB 3 on it on the front. It's like so old that it's only USB 2. And it has an eSATA. The case I'm going to use is like an eSATA from like NZXT. NZXT Hades case is the one that I'm thinking of. It's in the same... No, it's not. It's not, Marcelo. It's like, no. The GPUs are treated as like trophies, I guess, compared to the motherboards are literally... No, they're not. They're not... The motherboards, unfortunately, are not well maintained like the GPUs. Saying something like that probably makes Nvidia very happy to hear that. Because they don't make motherboards anymore. So they could care less about the motherboard. Okay, do I not have enough to level this up? Oh wow, 500,000? Yeah, the main thing is SSD and probably memory. We'll see. I'm trying to think where my DDR3 memory even is. Because, yeah, I'm not even sure if I remember where my DDR3 memory is. That's the other thing. I'm going to have to figure out where I put that stuff. Obtain new clues. Complete mission exhibit collection. Portrait of the Supreme Guardian. Portrait of Supreme Guardian Cocolia and her daughter. Okay. What do you guys think about Final Fantasy 16 being like an action game instead of a traditional turn-based RPG? Like Octopath Traveler 2, or even this game, Star Rail. Because I know there's some people that miss like old school turn-based games for the Final Fantasy franchise, and they don't really agree with the direction in which they're moving the game. But it's, I don't know, I feel like those big AAA games, they kind of demand being action-oriented in order to appeal to the widest audience possible. Although, having said that, look at Star Rail, though. Star Rail is actually a really fun-to-play turn-based game. Wait, is this going to be a cutscene? Do I need to turn the audio up? Hold up. I think I need to turn the audio up for this. If in the future Honkai Star Rail will continue the story of Honkai Impact Alien Space, will you protest or accept it? You know, I'm not against when developers choose one way or the other on how they want to, like, how they want their story to play out. Because I really think that the story of a video game from start to finish, or, okay, let me rephrase that because we're talking about a live service game. The story of a game, a live service game, is already planned out like 3 to 5 years in advance. So that sounds kind of crazy, but it's the truth. So I'll give you a good example. Final Fantasy XIV, the popular MMO, the story that they wanted to tell when they made the game, when they remade the game back in 2013 as 2.0, also known as A Realm Reborn, So Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, they they wrote the story in two chunks. One was the story of A Realm Reborn, which was a continuation after the Cataclysm, or the Calamity is what they used. But then from there, they wrote all the stuff that goes all the way up to like Endwalker. They planned most of it up to Endwalker. Some of the stuff in between, like the side quests, the raid stories, those things, those were not written ahead of time. Those were like planned, during the time between expansions. But the overall narrative they wanted to tell of like the Warrior of Light fighting against the Ascians and defeating them ultimately by Endwalker, the whole thing with Zodiark and Hydaelyn, the way they want to tell that whole story, that was already planned like years in advance. So with regards to Honkai Star Rail, if they want to do the alien space story, they've already decided. So no matter what we, as the players, think, or what we say, we can't turn against what they've already decided. Because, you asked that because the story leak of Honkai Star 1.2 was showing that, well, met again with the Void Archive. Yeah, and the thing is, they can do that. They probably, see, the thing is, they already know how, like, the developers at HoYoverse, they've already planned this game out for like 5 years. They have a roadmap, is what I'm trying to say. So as with every product, it doesn't matter if your product is a video game or a piece of hardware or some software application or some business plan. You have a roadmap that is planned out from 3 years, 5 years, some people even 10 years. But that's actually unlikely. It's very unrealistic to have a 10-year roadmap and actually stay true to that the whole 10 years. So the reality is these guys have already planned this game. Meaning these guys, HoYoverse, already knows which characters, well, maybe not all the characters. They might not have all the characters designed yet in terms of like how their combat ability is going to work, in the order in which the banners are going to play out. But they already know the story, like from start to a certain point. Like, I'll give you a better example. Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact's story, HoYoverse already knew since the time of 2020 that they're going to tell the story all the way to 2025, to Snezhnaya. It's already planned. They already know. All of it's on paper, all the dialogue, all the script, everything's already written. The only thing that is not made is the level design, the regions in the game, like how they're going to actually look, that kind of stuff. So Natlan is not done, Snezhnaya is not done, but you know what? They already know like what is supposed to be there, what the cities are going to be called, who the NPCs are going to be named as, etc. All that stuff already planned, well in advance. It's already known. So, will I accept it? If that's how it's going to be, yes. I mean, it's not like I can, it's not like I can say no. Like if they decide to do that, what am I going to do? Quit the game? No. So it's like, it's, oh, I thought this was going to be voiced. This isn't voiced? I was here anyway. So, they could do whatever they want. It's one of those things where, though, Honkai Star Rail has already kind of lost a lot of the player base. It's kind of already leveled off from the launch. Like, after the Zila banner, a lot of people already quit this game and didn't come back. So, I think this game will probably have more players over the course of its lifespan compared to, like, Tower of Fantasy. Tower of Fantasy is, I think, a big fail by comparison. I shouldn't say a big fail, but, like, Tower of Fantasy is just not anywhere near as good as, like, the HoYoverse games. It looks like HoYoverse is really going to make a multiverse, because in Honkai Impact there is a scene where Zila from the Honkai Impact universe. Wow. Okay. Well, the thing is, this is their This is their larger franchise in terms of the amount of investment they made in it. Like the Honkai universe, like you said. But the Genshin Impact story, the Genshin Impact game itself, as a completely separate standalone IP, is, I don't know, vastly more successful than the Honkai universe. In terms of how many people actually play Genshin versus how many people that actually actively play the other Honkai games. So, I don't know. I like the... I think Genshin... For some reason, Genshin is going to probably ultimately always be more successful or more popular than the Honkai games. Mainly because they just took so many of the positive gameplay aspects of Nintendo games that it's just so fun to play. Like, you can do stuff with Genshin that you can't do with this game or with any of the Honkai games, because they just designed Genshin in a way where it allows the developers to run wild with the creativity. You know what I mean? All those like limited time events, like grab the coins, Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog style, like that kind of stuff, flying through the air, grabbing the coins, going on the boat, get the coins, whirlpools, all this stuff. Like there's so many things that you can do in Genshin. Then there's like the jumpy things and the like time-based things, combat-based events. There's like so much stuff that Genshin has that just because they designed the game in such a way that the mechanics of the game work in such a cohesive way that they can do a lot of things with that system they cannot do with this game. Like, what do I mean by that? Well, you can actually jump in Genshin. You can't jump in Honkai Star Rail. And when it comes to like Impact, Honkai Impact, that game doesn't even compete because it's a much older game. It's like a completely different generation of live service game. That's more like Fate Grand Order style in terms of what it actually competes with. Maybe Genshin could be more popular because the gameplay and level of difficulty are more suitable for all circles. That's exactly, yeah. So you hit the nail right on the head with that comment, because think about it. What you just said is similar to what I was saying earlier about Final Fantasy 16 being an action-based combat system as opposed to a turn-based combat system. Because think of it like this. Final Fantasy 16 plays like Genshin Impact. Final Fantasy 13, the older game, plays like Star Rail. Like, Star Rail is a turn-based game. Final Fantasy 13 is a turn-based game. Final Fantasy 16 is an action game. Genshin Impact is an action game. So they chose Final Fantasy 16's combat system to be that way because they knew that the action-oriented combat system appeals to more people than the traditional turn-based. Which I'm not going to disagree with them there. I think that's the right call from a strategy point. But I do think that there is demand for a turn-based game. That's why I applaud Hoyoverse for making Star Rail a turn-based game, because I think it's a great turn-based game. It's simple enough, yet there's enough strategy and challenge that the gameplay doesn't get old. And I think whoever they have at Hoyoverse making these games, they really know how... They really know what the player actually wants. That's the thing that I like about Hoyoverse. What do they do that makes them so successful? They make great music in their games. They make great looking like worlds and character designs. The clothing that the characters wear. The color palettes that they choose. The game has a lot of like bright colors, but not in an excessive way. In a very good, artistic, tasteful way. So they do that, and it's so good. Like, Genshin has that unique, flowy, artsy-looking style. but it's kind of cartoony, kind of anime, but at the same time, it's kind of a timeless look like Legend of Zelda. Like, they just pulled that off perfect. Star Rail, people are going to compare this game to Persona. It looks like Persona 5. It's a Persona 5 clone. This dude looks like he's literally from the back. This dude looks like the main character from Persona 5. Unless you turn him around and you look at his face. Then he still looks like the guy from Persona 5 without the glasses. See what I'm saying? And the combat system's a turn-based, just like Persona 5. Now, obviously, they got inspired by other games, so people will say Genshin is a ripoff of Zelda, and Star Rail is a ripoff of Persona, and that's a very shallow oversimplification, because it's like you actually got to play the game and see how it is actually its own thing. It is different. Just imagine in Honkai Impact it takes 15 to 20 minutes to beat one boss. Exactly. See, like that's what I mean by it's a game from a different era. It doesn't really appeal to the modern like gaming conventions. It's not a conventional game anymore, like by today's standards. Just the same way that WoW Classic is not really a conventional game anymore. It was when it was new, but it's certainly not today. But did I just finish the event? I think that... Wait, did I finish the event? I think I got all the phase rewards. I got all the limited ones. Wait, am I done? I hope they don't close down the museum. I hope I can still go into this museum after this event is over. I like this museum. It looks cool. Because they should have like other events and stuff that take place in the museum. So even for those that didn't build up the museum, like if they don't finish the event in time, who cares? They should just complete it for them automatically and just have stuff happen in here. Like your daily quest could take place in here. I like this museum. It's cool. I put a lot of work into building this museum up and getting all the random exhibits. I wish they would open up the upstairs, but oh well. Alright, well that's the event, so I guess I completed it several days early because there's still 8 days left. But yeah, like, I don't even play Honkai 3rd or Honkai Impact because it's, like you said, it's just too, you know, like, this game, okay, you know, another thing, I want to say another thing. There's that one Korean MMO that is coming out. I forgot the name of it, but a lot of the popular Twitch streamers got to play it recently. It was, what is the name of that game? Throne and Liberty. Throne and Liberty is... It's like an MMO. Well, it is an MMO, but it has an auto mode, like an auto battle mode. Just like Star Rail has an auto battle mode. And a lot of people were making fun of it, saying that it's going to be dead on arrival because they put this auto mode in here. I completely disagree with that because, again, the reason why that auto battle mode is in the game is because they're trying to fit the game into the modern era of games. Like, you don't want to have like a game like WoW Classic where you have to take like a whole month of playing for like 5 hours a day every single day of the month to get to level 60. And after that, you got to do all this other stuff and manually run to like Blackrock Mountain, do all LBRS and UBRS and Skolo and Skomans and all this stuff. Like, no one wants to do all of that. Like, it's too much, like, extra cycles just wasted running from Scarlet Monastery. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to do that? So when J. Allen, whatever his name was, the guy with the long hair at Blizzard, who told people when they first asked him for WoW Classic, and he said, no, trust me, you don't want to go back to that. And realistically, they really did want to go back to that. But I understand where he's coming from when he says that. And what I hate the most about Honkai is that Impact is that they often kill characters that players like. For example, Himiko or Colleen, whose stomach was pierced. Well, Yeah, but then they might end up they might end up finding a way to like make them come back as like a cyborg or some whatever. They could always do that too, you know. Like this game's not as crazy, like free. You can climb up buildings, you can climb on mountains, you can do all that Zelda stuff that you can do in Genshin. But it doesn't have to do that. It's as it is, it's good. The only thing that I wish this game had that Genshin has is the multiplayer. I really wish that you could visit your friend's world or their instance and group up with them. Like, for example, you know how in Genshin, if you join someone else's world, both of you get to control 2 characters? I wish that this game had a similar function where if I join someone's world, I would have my 2 characters, so Silverwolf and Dan Hung would be like the 2 characters that I would bring to the world because they're character 1, 2. And then the other, like my friend, would have their 2 controlled characters, etc. like that. And then if a third person joins, then it like, you know, does the 3 character thing. Oh, she almost got hit by a bus. That could have been really bad. Probably needs to get out of the road. But you get what I'm saying? Like, that's the one thing. The one thing that Star Rail is missing is the multiplayer. If this game had multiplayer, it would be just... Oh, it would be good. It would be like... I can already tell this game will probably win Best Mobile Game of 2023. I can't think of any other mobile game that will be able to top this one. I mean, you guys tell me if you guys play a lot of other gacha games. I don't play too many gacha games. Right now, the only 2 that I actually play... Well, actually, this is the only one that I actually play. I actually stopped playing Genshin Impact for a while. Like, I did log back in for a week, so I got the returner bonus stuff. But I don't plan on realistically going back to Genshin until the next summer event thing in, you know, sometime in the second half of July. So I won't be back to Genshin for like another month. Raid Shadow Legends? I don't even know what that is, Marcelo. Like, that's the first... Raid Shadow Legends? That's the first I've ever heard of that game. I don't even know what that is. I don't know if I want to know what that is. Because it's like... I prefer to, like, keep the number of gacha games that I know about to a minimum. What ruined Genshin's reputation was the Genshin community. Not everyone... But there are some who are like that. I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to the Genshin Impact community. Like, I just play the game for what it is. Like, man, Genshin... You know what made me stick around for Genshin? The OST. Every time they add, like, a new zone, the music is so good. The music is so good. Like, I'm serious. You don't know Raid? Yeah, I guess I am. I know what Star Wars is, but I don't know what Raid... What was it called? Raid Shadow Legends? That sounds like a ripoff of, like, League of Legends or something. Alright, I'm waiting for one more. Okay, I need to do my weekly. I gotta go fight the boss, the 3 bosses. You guys know what I did yesterday. I should have waited until today, or actually next week, to do this. So I have currently cleared every single simulated universe level that I could possibly do. And so I cleared this one. This one right here where you fight Cocolia. Like, I beat her yesterday, and I wish I did not do that because I could have saved that first time clear, that 4,600 points, for the following week, because I was sitting at 9,200. I was at 9,200 out of 10,000 for the week, and I wasted that 4,600 clear run because I didn't think I was going to clear it. I honestly thought I was going to fail this. I didn't expect to succeed. And I did it with, I didn't use Zila. What is this? I did not use Zila. The party that beat her was the main character, Natasha, Jingyuan, and Silverwolf. Silverwolf made this fight so much more manageable. And you know what the secret was? My favorite one? Oh wait, I don't want to launch it. Path of Destruction. Nanook is so good when you get the tier 3 Nanook. Oh man, every time Nanook, like, it's his turn, he's just like, you have 2 giant icicles, well now you don't have them anymore. So Nanook's like, you don't get those icicles anymore, you know, like, he basically, like, every time Nanook shows up, he just snaps his finger like Thanos, and those 2 icicles don't exist anymore. So I don't have to worry about doing anything. Coco Leo's trying to, like, power up and do her little, like, staff thing and, like, hit everybody with ice. Nanook shows up. No, be good. It's like, no, Bronya shows up. Bronya shows up in phase 2. Nanook shows up, and he's like, my turn. Bronya, hold up, wait. No, sit down. Bam. 3 Nanooks, she's gone. Man, like, Path of Destruction, people. Path of Destruction is so good. It's the one, like, everybody always recommends Path of Abundance or Preservation or the Hunt for whatever reason. I don't know why the Hunt. The Hunt is only good if you're, like, super high level and you have, like, really, really good relics. But if you want to just, like, blow things up, Destruction. Path of Destruction. You don't know, yeah. So, anyway, I've done this. The only thing I need to do are some boss fights. I gotta do these. Because I got 90. I can only do 2 of them. And let me see. So people are probably curious, like, what are my characters? My characters are the most, like, scrub units in terms of their stats. So, Light Cone, free to play, max it out. It's really good. There's no reason not to use this on Silver Wolf if you have Silver Wolf. Dan Hung, free to play 5-star weapon. One thing I like about this game compared to Genshin Impact is that you literally get 3 5-star weapons. So right now I'm sitting on 2 of them. It's gonna take a while to get the 3rd one, but you can see here they literally give you 3 different 5-star weapons, and you can also max out the refinement on them. That is really nice. So it's gonna take me what, about 3 weeks to get this one, the last one, the one for the tank. But I already have, like, these 2, and they're pretty good. So Dan Hung's using one of them. So I've got this. I'm waiting to go to the next world level, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. I'm currently sitting at almost level 59. 4,000 credits. So it's one of those things. I don't know. This is the only gacha game that I play. Surprised this game doesn't seem to have much incentive to spend. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. That's the thing I like about this game compared to Genshin Impact. This game, you can literally be free to play. Now you won't. If you're free to play 100%, you're obviously not going to get all the characters. Like, I don't have all the characters. But you can pretty much do everything in this game without spending any money. It's like the only thing is you're going to have to wait longer to clear the higher difficulty content. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing. So, but I like that this game is more free-to-play friendly because you can actually get 5-star weapons and you can max them out. So it's like, so if you're playing this for the long term, realistically, like, over time, you would have, like, all 3 of the weapons and you would have the refinements maxed out. So at that point, the only thing that you get are these wish things. So you just get the Star Rail Pass is basically the thing that you use to do the wishes for characters and stuff. So but see, like, this game has, I feel like they played a lot of other games when they were making this. Like, this game has some Star Citizen vibes to it. It doesn't control like Star Citizen, but the look and feel of being inside the spaceship, like, we're inside a space station right now, and it feels like I'm on the Durandal from Xenosaga, or I'm on some, like, Star Cruiser in Star Citizen. Like at one of the ports. I'm at like the space port in Star Citizen. Because these advertising bots and these vending machine things, they look like the ones in Star Citizen. So... I don't know. Like... I really don't know why Bethesda doesn't have a game like this, and why BioWare, are they still around? Yeah, BioWare and Bethesda. I don't know why Ubisoft, Bethesda, and maybe Activision, why don't they have games like this? I mean, Blizzard made Diablo 4, and that's a good game, from what I've seen of it. I'm not a fan of the Diablo franchise. I would probably play Diablo 4 if the camera angle could be adjusted to play like Elden Ring. Then I'd probably be playing Diablo 4 right now if the camera system was like that. Yeah, I still don't have this currency stuff. But anyway, what I need to do is I need to do those boss fights for the week. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to reach... Yeah, so... The only other thing I can do is I can do, like, all these quests. Oh, wait. Hold on, I do have a quest. For the limited time event. Yeah, this game doesn't have much incentive to spend real money compared to other gacha games, and I actually like that about it. That's one of the reasons why I still play it. BioWare launched a mobile Dragon Age. It was a long time ago, probably died. Oh, this guy wants me to do a puzzle? Oh, never mind. I thought he wanted me to do something else. You know, if Hoyoverse games like Genshin and this game didn't exist, I was gonna say if Star Rail didn't exist, I would have probably gone back to Final Fantasy XIV. Because I was thinking of going back to Final Fantasy XIV to get caught up, because I'm so far behind in that game. But at this point, I'm probably not even going to go back to that game until the next expansion. And I don't know how I'm going to get caught up, because I haven't done like any of the story since Endwalker ended. Oh, this is... See, watch. You just do auto battle, and then you just let the computer do everything. See, like, why were people complaining about Throne and Liberty? People were complaining about Throne and Liberty having a auto battle system. But what's wrong with the auto battle system? It's like in certain content, you're still gonna want to play the game manually, because the AI will do things that are suboptimal. So then you would still want to do things manually. So it's like there's a reason why you don't need to have auto battle on all the time. So I don't know, man. Like, so many people were hating on Throne and Liberty's beta test. A lot of like popular streamers were also making fun of it because of the auto battle. But I guess some of it was valid feedback? I don't know. I didn't get to play it. I would like to play a new MMO, like a new MMO that's really good. Because last year I tried Tower Fantasy for like a month, and then I quit and went back to Genshin. Trailblazer's baseball bat. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. See, I hope this museum gets to stick around. I want to be able to come in here. See, look, I got my baseball bat on display. I have my lance on display. What happened to the MMO I was looking forward to? Oh, Blue Protocol. I think it got delayed. I don't know. That game keeps getting delayed. I think the Japanese launch is coming out sometime this year. I don't know. I would play it, but it's not... I haven't heard anything about it. There's a benchmark. There's a benchmark for it. I ran it. It doesn't tell me anything useful. It's easier to run than the Final Fantasy benchmark. What controller am I? I'm just using keyboard and mouse for this game. Yeah, when it comes to the Hoyoverse games, I just use keyboard and mouse. But like when I was playing Star Wars, if I switch to Star Wars later, I'll be using the controller. And for the controller, it's this one. It's the Xbox, the classic wired Xbox 360 controller. The actual official Xbox 360 controller. You can't actually buy these anymore. Or at least not new. You can only buy like some Chinese knockoff of it, which will probably work. I mean, you can get the Xbox Series X controller. I have that too, but I don't really use it because I just prefer having the wire just always plugged in and not having to mess with like a USB-C cable. Wait a minute. Sometimes the tour guides that I hired are in here. What am I supposed to do? Nothing. Okay, I guess we just do the next quest. Oh, wait. I'm done? During 63 days as a part-time manager, you helped revitalize Belobog's history and culture museum. Thank you for your efforts and may your road ahead. Oh, okay. So I basically 100%ed the whole thing. I hope this museum gets to stick around, though. It's like in 9 days, if they shut it down and close it down and stuff, that would be like a big waste of time. But you never know with these live service games and the way they do their events. That's the reason why some people refuse to play these type of games, because of all the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I mean... yeah, I get that, because sometimes I suffer from that too. Like with Genshin, for example, since I'm not actively playing Genshin anymore, there was that recent event where you had to play their TCG card game, and I'm thinking, I'm not about to have to relearn how to play a card game that I learned to play months ago and then never touch it ever again, just to do some event, just to get some free weapon. Like some bow and arrow thing, and then I ended up doing it anyway. So I crammed it all in like one sitting. And that's the thing about the FOMO. It's, you know, it's weird because it's like I feel more incentive to play this game than like Star Wars. I don't know why that is, but this is the same. Like if I was playing an MMO, it would be the exact same feeling. Like if I was playing 14 and I was really into 14 and trying to catch up with everyone else, I would just not feel like playing any of the other games that I need to finish. So anyway, let's talk about computer hardware again. Is anybody going to get... is anybody doing a PC build this summer or this year? Or are you just going to wait it out? Realistically, there's not much reason to upgrade, though. I've been thinking about this. Like, only the most demanding new games actually result in a benefit to... wait, who am I fighting? Oh, I'm fighting, what's her name? So I need to change the group. Always. Joey, you're building another PC again? We'll go with him. Jing Yuan's good. Natasha's good. I might want to flip the order, though. I want her to be next to him just because she has more HP. So the tank tends to get focus fired. And then we'll do... Zila actually would be really good in this fight, too. But Silverwolf? Silverwolf is pretty strong, too. We're just going to go with her. Should I call someone else for help? Like Chuck Norris? Or Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris has a very, very strong Zila. 3,000. Her attack is over 3,000 and she has a 70% crit rate. Really, really strong. Wow, Chuck Norris. Okay, what about this Issa? Issa's got a Himiko with over 2... Yeah, no, that's like mine. That's like average. Well, he's not... This guy's awesome. This is a character that I don't have. Like, this is one of the best characters in the game, and I don't have this character. I wish I had this character, but he's not really good in this boss fight, so it doesn't really matter. So is this Silverwolf better than mine? No, this one's like the same as mine. This one has a higher attack. Her crit rate is, I think, marginally better than mine. I gotta look. What is mine? See, oh no, mine has a better crit rate, and mine actually has a decent. Mine's actually better. Well, mine has a lower attack though. Would this one be useful? Bronya? No. Like, what is this? The stats are... I don't know. Maybe her stats are irrelevant? This person actually tried to build her attack. This is a support character, for those that don't know. But I think still build up the attack. What about this guy's Jing Yuan? Is he good? Oh, this guy's Jing Yuan's really good. His speed is 103, though. Like, how does that compare to mine? Mine's faster. See, this is the thing I run into. Every time I like compare my scrubby, like average build character to someone else's, like the first people on the list typically have like a really high attack stat, but then you look at it and it's like their speed is so much slower that it's like they get less turns than me. So it's like I end up doing more DPS anyway because I get more turns. I have a speed value of 120. That means that I can activate my, well, actually, yeah, like this. When the wearer's speed reaches 120, all the allies' attack is increased by 8%. So I get this stuff. So, yeah, no. My character isn't even level 70 either. I guess I'm going to go with my own team, unless someone has a really good Silverwolf. Otherwise, I'm going to choose Chuck Norris's Zila, because his Zila is extremely... impressive. Look at those stats. 70.9% crit rate. That means she's going to be dealing so much damage, and her attack stat is over 3,000. This, what you're looking at, is what is called a whale account. This is a whale account in terms of this character's stats. Like, quantum damage, 42... crit damage is almost 100. 98.9. 70. Wow. What is the weapon? I wonder, like, what is the... Oh, okay. Well, see, that's... Wait, what? Man, this person, like, put everything into... They put all their free-to-play resources into this one weapon. The wearer's crit rate by 16. Because they super imposition this to, like, 5 already. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's necessary. I want to get all 3 weapons. So this person only has this one weapon. They don't have the other one, but it's maxed out though. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it shows an impressive character. But this is what I call a one-trick pony. You got this one character overbuilt, but then like, where's the rest of the party? Unless it's a whale account, so it doesn't really matter. Then they have like, you know, a bunch of characters maxed out. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna go with my own party unless someone else has like a really good this Zila's better than mine. Yeah, this one's better than mine. I'll probably go with this one. Alright, we'll add this one. So the cool thing about this game is you cannot team up with other players, but they have this thing where it's like you can summon another character, another player's character that they have. So what's nice about that is if you have a character, or if you don't have a character, like for instance, I don't have him, but I can borrow him for this fight off of somebody else, and if I choose that player's character, like if I choose Atlas, for instance, Atlas will get some gold as a reward for me getting to borrow their character and me successfully defeating a boss with the character. So that's kind of cool. They do have that. I still wish that they had the ability to, like, group up with others. Alright, we're gonna get this one. I kind of want to do this with Silver Wolf, but well, let's do this with Silver Wolf. Let's find a Silver Wolf, just because this is the newer one. This one's a little bit better than mine, so I guess we'll go with this one. Alright, let's do this. This game's anti-cheat must be very good, considering there's no incredibly OP character available here. Yeah, I guess they have a really good anti-cheat. Man, this audio is really loud. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna do an auto battle for phase 1, but I'll probably manually control it in phase 2. So look, those two icicle things, those are the things that I was talking about. Like, if you go Path of Destruction in Simulated Universe, Nanook is like, he sees those two things, he's like, oh, it's my turn. Oh, you've got icicles that can AoE spam? Well, now I'm gonna snap my finger and now you don't have them anymore. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Boom! Punch those things away. See? The AI knows the chat GPT can drive. It knows what it's doing. Most of the time. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. Wow. Man, my characters have gotten stronger. Like, I'm almost at the world level up. When I hit Trailblazer rank 60, I'll be able to raise my level cap to level 80. But I have not farmed any relics. I'm just using whatever I get so that I can hit minimum thresholds, etc., all that kind of stuff. And I'm able to clear all the content. It may not be the fastest clear, but it's like, I don't really care, man. It's like, as long as I can enjoy the game, whatever. And I like how none of my characters... I like how ChatGPT doesn't care about the two icicles. Because it's just gonna do the Falcon Punch. It's just gonna Falcon Punch them. That's some good gameplay right there. See, the thing is, like, we can be talking about like overclocking memory and stuff right now while this is all going on. This is called multitasking. This is multitasking to the extreme. See, I can use telekinetic powers to just drive the game by itself. Am I in phase 2? Oh no, not yet. Okay. We're gonna Falcon Punch this thing, watch. Oh wait, no? Lance forward. Watch this, watch this, watch this. 1%? What? Okay, she like... Cyril's like thumbs down. Time for a bug. Boom. 0.
Translates into hope.
What? Jin Yuan almost died. He has 31 HP. He literally almost died.
To get to. Let's finish this.
She's gonna kill him. I just realized that. Yeah, Jin Yuan's gonna die because I don't have... Oh no, okay. There's a way out of this. There's a way out of this. Hold on. Do this. Do this.
This is double speed.
Yeah, ChatGPT messed up. Alright, what I need to do, Jin's gonna have to like get a skill point, and then this dude needs to put up the shield quick. He still might die. He still might die. Oh man, I got out of this. This is why you can't let ChatGPT drive the whole time. The only problem is, I think she's still gonna kill him when she does her big ult. So because I'm.
Seems I've met.
Oh yeah, I can't unless I can.
Follow my chart. I'm on guard.
Can I break her? Let's see what happens. Oh man, did I cancel it? Oh, he still died. Okay, now, see, the thing that makes this game a little bit more challenging compared to the standard turn-based games, you can't revive your characters. Unless you have a certain 5-star healer, which I don't have. So, now I have to figure out if I can clear this with just 3 characters. But she's at 46%, so it's probably doable.
Just a little something.
Need to heal us back up.
Nice teamwork.
Can I have fun this time? Time for fun.
Lances are ready.
This is gonna hurt.
Translates into hope.
Okay. Man, Jin took a lot of damage somehow.
This combat needs optimizing.
See, the thing about Hoyoverse is they know how to make a game have style. Like, when a character is about to do their ult, the way the camera, like, see how the camera right now is looking at the character? You can see my character on the left, you can see the boss on the right, but the camera angle gets lowered slightly when they're gonna do the ult. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about.
That's better.
Oh wow, she tried to heal herself and then she got imprisoned. We need to shield up. See, look at that. Shield up. Yeah, we have to put that shield up because what's her name got imprisoned. Oh wow, she almost died.
More enemies. Just in
See, look, the camera changes when you're gonna do the heal.
just a little something.
Now we're gonna activate the big Thanos punch.
It's time. Lamps ablaze.
See, okay, this is what I'm talking about. I activated the ult. Notice how the camera angle changes in such a way that it makes the character look so cool with the pose. Why can't Bethesda make a game like this? Like, just the style. The style. It's got style. It's all... Don't you guys know, like, gaming, like, games, it's all about style, and it's all about being cool. You gotta have style. I forgot where I heard this from. It's all about style, and it's all about being cool. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I'm serious. We got some 5-star boots and some gloves and stuff. But this is the only reason why I did this. I need these little crystal things. Level 37 on this. Man, that dude, he literally died. Alright, well, he's revived. How come he died so easily and everyone else survived? Oh, you know why he died? His defense stat is only 786. She has a defense value of 949. This guy's a tank, so his defense 13 plus, 1300 plus, and then she has 804 defense, but she has 3395 HP. That's the reason why she survived and he didn't. Because he has a lower defense stat and he has, like, way less HP. Alright, now I just need to do... I gotta do another one. I can choose between these two. I think I'm just gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. See, it keeps telling me my current team is underpowered. Like, current team is too underpowered. Well, so it's basically saying you're not supposed to be able to win this. Whatever. Alright, for this one, we're gonna go with Tank Boy. Anybody know when the Asus BIOS is... where in Asus BIOS to set the RAM to not train every time? Oh, you mean memory context restore? You want to turn on memory context restore enabled? It should be under the... Go to the AMD CBS, AMD CBS DDR options. It should be under there somewhere. Okay. Let's see. For this fight, we'll probably do... Let me see. Put her... Oh, no, wait. She was already there. Dan Hung. We need him. And then we need her again. Okay, this time we're bringing in Frosty the Tank instead of Inferno the Tank. Because this guy actually... Hold on. Who has my... Does he have the big tank weapon? Okay, he has my only... So I randomly pulled this off of the gacha. This is one of my things I got from the gacha. Not only did I get him from the gacha, I got his weapon from the gacha. So that's basically this game telling me... The RNGesus is telling me that Japard and Moment of Victory, I'm destined to be a paladin in this game. That's literally what this tells me. Actually, why is he only level 63? He should be like level 66. Walk him up to level 66. There. Get him some more stats. Yeah. Because I think everyone else, 66. Oh, wait. My healer's only level 60. She has been working so hard. Like, my healer... Natasha is the only healer that I have. Because I don't have, like, the big whale account. I don't have, you know, like, all the characters and stuff. So I have to rely on her for healing. And she has done a good job. So we're going to promote her. She's going to get a promotion to level 66. She's put in the work. So we're going to level her up. I also need to start... I have a week... Well, more like a week and a half. We have some time. But I want to save up my level materials for the next banner. And I am kind of low on resources. I'm also about to hit the next... like, Ascension. The world level is about to go up. Okay. So now, what's her relic level? Her relics are also really low level. The thing is, she's been doing fine with these relics. I haven't seen a need to change anything. Japard's been doing good with those too. Like, they aren't even really max leveled or anything. Alright, so we're gonna do this one. This one's got that weird, like, jazz music. Or no, this is the one that has got the strange, like, synthetic music. Nobody brings a good... Actually, you know what I want to try? Dan Hung would be good, but I kind of... I think I'm just going to use these guys. Unless someone has, like, a really, really good... Unless someone's got a really good Himiko, because Himiko's really, really good in this one. Probably this one. 2018 and 105. That one actually has a lot higher crit rate than mine, so maybe I will go with that one. Is that the only Himiko? Himiko's very good in this boss fight. Yeah, I guess that's the only one. Alright, we'll bring her. Yeah, we'll bring this character's Himiko, and then I'll put the... I will move Japard over here. And then we'll put Natasha over here. There. Alright, here we go.
Move carefully.
Okay, this is what... This is... Apparently, this thing is called Disaster. And it's made of antimatter. That's the lore. That's basically the lore on what this thing is. So apparently, Hoyoverse either thinks or knows what antimatter looks like. This is their definition. Man, this dude puts meaty shields up. He's got some really good shields.
You won't get away. You won't get away.
But this is the sort of thing that I kind of miss from modern games. Like, when the boss is as big as a skyscraper, and they can apparently punch your characters into the ground, but your characters somehow don't die from that. You know, this unrealistic nonsense. I think that's what makes it cool, though. That's what made old school video games cool. Like the old school, like Final Fantasy 1 through 6. When the boss was a giant skyscraper, and your characters are ants. In comparison. Or your characters are the size of ants and the boss is a refrigerator. Maybe that's more a realistic scale. I like how the characters have personality too. Like, when they get hit hard from the boss, they'll say stuff like, "You've got a lot of nerve." Some giant antimatter, like, fist just, like, stomps them into the ground, and they're like, "You've got a lot of nerve for doing that." How can you kill antimatter? Your guess is as good as mine, but apparently this is what it looks like. This is what it's like to kill antimatter. We're fighting the antimatter engine. Listen to this music. This music has this weird sound. It's got like a... What is that instrument? It's got like some kind of like synth thing going in the background, or it's got like a pipe organ. It's got like a pipe organ. What is that? What is that instrument? You guys hear that? There's like a piano, but what is that other instrument? This video is probably totally getting demonetized because of all this OST. You know, the thing about Hoyoverse is, I think Hoyoverse doesn't care. That's the cool thing about them. They don't care. Sounds like a kazoo. I think it's one of those like 1980s piano things. It's like got like a synth to it. A lot of people like the song that plays on the other boss, the one that I did, like the giant ice lady. But I don't know. I think this song is more unique because it's got that weird. It's got like this weird kind of like. Almost like a nutty humor with it's got a very Persona. It's got like a Persona vibe to it. This sounds so Persona, doesn't it? Anybody out in the chat, if you guys know about the Persona series, like this sounds kind of like a Persona song. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty good though. You have to admit though, Hoyoverse, they know, when it comes to games, like they really know what they're doing. These guys are making the type of games that you would see all the time in the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, he's up. The Doomsday Beast is completely regenerated. Impending doom. I like listening to what the characters say when they get hit with like a barrage of attacks like that. You've got a lot of nerve. Oh hey, it'll heal. they all say their one-liners all at the same time. It's hilarious. I also like how in this fight, specifically in this fight, because the boss is standing on a platform. Well, he's like floating in space. They're fighting him like on a Death Star sort of platform. When the melee guys have to do a melee attack, they literally like leap 20 feet across the ground to hit the boss's arm and then leap all the way back. Like, look at that. Do you see that? Do you see? Okay, watch. When Japard does his leap, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me go to manual mode. See, okay, let's see. Let's have Dan Hung attack this hand. Okay, he rushed in. He like rushed. There's like motion blur when he did that too. All right, she's gonna do. Wait, she's actually gonna wake up Himiko.
Much obliged.
All right, and then she is going to break the right arm. See, like she like rushed, and notice how it had like a dust trail behind her. Now this dude's hilarious though. When this guy like jumps, I think I can freeze his hand. Look at that. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that animation. I don't even know what that thing is on his back. I don't know if he's got like a guitar in there. Does he have a string bass in there or a cello? That looks too big to be a cello. Look at that. Look at that. How he swings that around. All right, let's see. Oh, he didn't do it. Oh, but see, like the jump back, he like jumped so far back.
In the name of Landau.
Look at Dan Hung. Look at Dan Hung like face palming. This dude's face palming right now in the back. This game got style.
A will forged in ice. Never falters.
Perhaps you still don't understand.
See, look at that. Look at how they do that. Look at how they know how to make the characters look cool. This is the sort of thing that I feel like a lot of game developers, they've lost that talent. They've forgotten how to make characters have style. How to make a game look cool. Look at her. She's sitting on whatever that weird droid, that military droid thing that she has, that spins around like a helicopter and like slices things up like it's some kind of spinning ninja shuriken thing. She's just sitting on it, stirring coffee.
Humanity never conceals its
Then she
desire
calls
to
down a
control
satellite.
the heavens, and I know exactly.
Bam! Calls in a nuke. A laser, or whatever that thing was supposed to be. Anyway.
Just in time.
Alright, look at Dan Hung. He's still face palming. He's still out of it.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
He's still in the back. Like, that's hilarious. Alright, wake him up. Someone needs to wake him up.
Don't
I
worry
have
about
something
me.
for you.
Can she... Oh, we're gonna get hit by this thing. But everyone's shielded. Man, that antimatter is about to explode. I feel like there's like a Chernobyl's about to go off. Okay, we need to... Dan Hung again.
Life and death.
Get rid of that.
Sanctuary is but a vision.
Okay, oh, he gets another turn. Impending doom. Nuclear attack. Nuclear launch
This
detected.
ends here.
He did a 1-2 punch. He just literally punched antimatter with his fists. See, look at this. Look at this thing. What is... She whips out like this weird, like, buzz saw. She's got like a circular saw in there. Man, this is what I mean. The creativity. The creativity. Oh, he's powering up again. Debuff, radiation poisoning, yeah. Can we freeze it? Maybe we can freeze it. No, it can't be frozen.
The truth of life and death.
Maybe hit it with some falling leaves.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
4,000 damage. Should she do this one? No, let's go in this mode. Hit it with the circular saw.
You won't get away.
And then her little drone like spins around. And it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, I broke it, but it doesn't matter. It does its little thing again.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Don't worry about me.
Man,
I
Dan
have something
Hung.
for you.
Alright, she almost got it there. She almost got the antimatter. Hit it? Okay, put that shield up. The reason why we're not getting radiation poisoning is because apparently a wall of ice is strong enough to block radiation. Like a concrete wall. Oh, he broke it. Alright, here we go.
Time for an overhaul.
Man, he hits hard.
Truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision.
I like how he says things that make no sense when he says them. The truth of life and death. And then he just says, the sanctuary is but a vision. Break! What? What is that? What is all this supposed to mean? It's like he says there's a bunch of random cool stuff that back to back doesn't make any sense together. Anyway. Ooh, this one's good actually. These are rare. Speed boots are rare. I'm keeping that. Destroyer's Final Road. There we go. We got the antimatter. That's all that matters. All right. How many times the voice actors cracked up when recording these lines? Man, yeah, this game has a lot of cheesy dialogue. There's a lot of cheesy dialogue. like a ton. Andon subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I don't know if the Discord link needs to be refreshed. Because I think it expires after a certain point. We're like a medieval paladin wandering around in a in a sci-fi starship from like Star Trek. Look at this. See how this game is cool? Look, we've got Trekkies. We're like walking around with Trekkies, and I'm dressed like a paladin from the medieval times. Like what? See what I mean by this? This game's got style. It's got a lot of style. I have a feeling this game's... I can't imagine another mobile game. Like you said, Raid Shadow Legends. Is that new as of this year? Because in my mind, Star Rail's gonna win, like, best mobile game of the year. I can't see it going to any other game. It depends on how people classify this. I do think, even though this is a turn-based single-player RPG with online live service elements and not really co-op in the traditional sense, but the ability to share, like, one of your characters with other players. Like people can borrow one of your characters for boss fights and things. To help them. It's got that. And the other thing that's cool about this game, as the name implies, Star Rail, your spaceship is literally the Polar Express. You literally fly around the galaxy on the Polar Express. Like, that's what I mean by... This is what I mean by thinking outside the box when it comes to games. Over there, we see a planet that looks like the one that the Death Star blew up in Episode 4. And then you have like this modern terminal sci-fi starport. And then you literally have the Polar Express just sitting there in the spaceship, in the platform. Raid is from 2018. You mentioned it because at some point they were sponsored. They were sponsoring every YouTuber in the face of the earth. Oh, I think I know what game you're talking about. Yeah, that turn-based. Yeah. I think I know which game you're talking about. Yeah, I recognize when you said they were sponsoring all the YouTube. Yeah, okay, I know which game you're talking about. That game with like orcs and wizards and stuff. That turn-based thing where they're all lined up in a line to fight the enemies. Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I need to do. Unless I want to do these things and try to just get all these primo gems. Been streaming for 2 hours. I thought this stream was going to be a short one. It probably will be a short one. We talked a little bit of hardware stuff. There's not a whole lot to say. I do think that if someone is considering upgrading their old PC, now is a good time to do it. If you wait until the end of the year, there'll probably be decent deals, like always, but it's not really going to be any different. The landscape's not going to change much. In terms of the motherboards and the... well, actually, hold on. So there is going to be the Raptor Lake refresh. There is going to be a new Intel CPU line, but it's not a new Intel CPU line. It's basically Raptor Lake. If they call it 14th generation, I'm going to be very disappointed in them because I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think what they should do is they should call it 13th generation, but make it like Devil's Canyon. Like, you know how Intel did 4770K in 2013, then they did 4790K in 2014, because Broadwell was like OEM only or something. I forgot what the reason was, but anyway, they should do something like that. They should do like a Devil's Canyon type refresh for the Raptor Lake refresh. Don't call it 14 whatever, because it's not true 14th generation. I think that will be the wrong thing to do if they do that. But if they make it 14th generation, even though it's a 13th generation part, they might open themselves up to a lot of negative tech press if they do that. I can see like Hardware Unboxed, Linus, Gamers Nexus, all those guys. I can see them like, you know, raising a lot of eyebrows about calling Raptor Lake a 14th generation part. I don't think that would be the right thing to do. What they should do is they should refresh. They should do like 13,770K. Bring that numbering back. 13,770K. 13,990K. Something like that. That's what they should do. That will be the right thing to do. Don't do 14th generation when the cores are literally just Raptor Lake cores. That's really false advertising in my mind. Because it'll go against everything that Intel's done previously. Now, I know they're going to rebrand to, like, they're going to drop the I. What is this? Oh. Huh? Did I do... Was that a quest? No, I have quests that I need to do, and I haven't done them. But, yeah, I kind of think that the only thing that's new will be Raptor Lake refresh on the CPU side. And that's just because they need to put something out. Because they always do that for their shareholders. That guy literally... The door opened for that guy? Is he gonna go away? I don't know. There was some news about 7800 XT, but nothing major. Hardware news. They're kind of slow. Yeah, nothing's gonna change on the AMD graphics card stuff until they sell more RDNA 2. Man, that guy really is not gonna leave me alone. Okay.
Burn away.
Yeah, I think the 7800 XT is basically going to be a 6950 XT. So, I mean, there's really no reason to wait for one. The difference is going to be it uses less power than the 6950 XT while performing pretty much the same. Same amount of VRAM, same rasterization performance. Now, it will have better RT performance, and it will also have AV1. So, literally, the only things that the 7800 XT will do differently than the 6950 XT is the addition of AV1 encoding, because the 6950 already has decoding, so it's just the encoding part that's new, and the better RT performance, which is still kind of, you know, no one really cares because it's just ampere level, which is not bad, but it's not like amazing. So that's the only thing that the 7800 XT is going to do better than the 6950 XT. And it'll probably use less electricity. But that's basically it. Man, this spaceship is pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of levels up. There was even something like walking toward me.
You won't get away.
Yeah. By the end of the year, all the AMD cards will be out though, and so will all the NVIDIA ones. So we're getting RTX 4060 next month, and we're getting I think we're gonna get, I don't know which one's gonna come first. It really boils down to like how fast AMD starts running low on the existing RDNA 2 cards. Oh, it's 29th this month? Okay, so it's the end of the month. Is it better for me to turn that one on? No, actually, no. Turn this one on. Yeah, we'll go down here. Trying to think, is there something that I need to get in the spaceship? This is the elevator. I have 40 of the stuff. I need to spend it on something. I don't really want to farm artifacts. I think I'm just gonna run, yeah, I'm gonna get EXP books. Alright, we're gonna do 4 rounds of this. This party is actually pretty good for this, surprisingly. I want to give someone else some gold, though, so we'll summon somebody's Himiko. And we'll just do... Actually, you know what? I don't need a healer. We're gonna go no healer. You know what? We're gonna go all DPS. So go with... Let's go with these guys. Actually, get him out of here. Get Herda, because she's ice. And Su Shang's good because she's physical attack. And then let's summon this player's Himiko, and let's do this. No healers. Everyone, just burn them down. It's 4 rounds. Living on the edge. No healer, no tank. Let's go.
Time to twirl. This sanctuary is but a vision.
You won't get away.
Yeah, because you get so much DPS. See, we're getting so much damage. Cleared the first wave. Second wave. This is going to be easy. Because Himiko is hitting all of them. Herda just did a critical right there. She just did a time to twirl. Her little kuru kuru. The big boom hammer. And then her little drone. And then the twirl. See, they got like so many extra turns. I realized something. If you want to just farm materials in this game, you just turn on auto, choose characters that hit everything on the field, like Herda, because Herda's free to play, so everybody has her, and you just have this happen. Easy. You get the stuff that you need. Okay, and we're done. What else do I need to get? I think that's it. We are kind of low on this stuff. Actually, I'm kind of low on the healers one. I guess I need to... Wait. Oh. Back attack. Wait, what?
You won't get away.
Oh, Trotter shows up, and I literally have like nothing that it's weak to except physical.
Take this. Shape of Taishu.
I like how Su Shang, when the enemy hits Su Shang, she's supposed to be like this really tough girl. She's all about like military and being strong and stuff. So it's like when an enemy hits her and she gets hit with like a critical, she's like, "Do your hands hurt?" Man, I don't know how the voice actors didn't like bust out laughing. "Do your hands hurt? Are you ready?" He's just gonna leave that dude just frozen. Hit the big whatever that thing is, the skunk. Oh, that guy revived. Who cares? Hit the skunk.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
This big diamond. It's all yours. You won't get away.
No interest in conflict.
See, this game, man, this game has a pretty cool turn-based system. It's fast, it's cool. It's all about being cool. Every time you laugh, it's $100 off your pay. Time to twirl. Time to twirl. They self-revive.
Perhaps you still don't understand.
Perhaps you still don't understand.
Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Man, they got nuked with some like satellite laser. See, that's cool.
That's the power of the Cloud Knights.
See, this is one of those games where it's like you can just play this game all chill.
You won't get away.
Wow. Time to twirl. She got a critical. I think there's gonna be like 2 or 3 waves because there's a bunch of enemies standing around outside. Yeah, there's 3 waves. Man, I'm surprised Herta's actually doing pretty good. She's doing all the... They're getting frozen because of her hammer. And then we're getting like all these free turns because it skips their turn.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, wait. Every time I see one of these things, I turn off the chat GPT because it's like, nah, I need to do this one myself.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
This big diamond. It's all
If you guys are familiar with like the Figma action figures from Japan,
no more playing nice.
the Herta sprite, her joints and everything about her is actually based off of Figma.
I have something for you.
That guy got out of the thing, that's funny.
Fighting is
Whatever that did. It's like, I don't know what you just did.
I have something for you. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens.
Anyway, I think after I'm done with this little bit of farming, this is probably where we'll end the stream. Expect Final Fantasy 16 next week, though. I will be streaming Final Fantasy 16. I know for a fact I'll probably stream some of that game off stream as well, just because it's a really, really long game. Am I getting the things that I'm trying to get? I feel like I haven't even gotten the things that I've been looking for. Am I even going the right way? Okay, I guess I am. Yeah, I am. She's vandalizing the... whatever that... the vase, the vase.
Burn away.
4060 will be weaker than 3060 at 1440p. Really? Have there been leaks that show that? Because you guys should know, Nvidia always knows how to make their... Nvidia always sets it up in a way where at launch, the new GPU always looks better relative to the older GPU.
Closer to the stars.
Even if it doesn't end up aging as well, like at the beginning, it will always do well. Like its first impressions are always going to be relatively good. Man, that's way over there. How am I supposed to... Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. If you guys are familiar with, like, the Japanese, like, what's the name of that company? Good Smile Company? I think it's Good Smile Company. They make the Figma action figures for lots of, like, popular anime characters. So, like, Herta is actually a Figma... Like, this is, like a Figma doll. Look at her knees. Her knees. Look at her knees. Like when she run. Look at the. See even the joint. You can see the ball joints. You can see the ball joints on this character, and the hand. Look at the hand. See, her fingers and stuff. It's literally the Figma. So what I'm saying is the attention to detail. Look at her shoulder joint. See how the shoulder joint has the like, the articulation points and stuff because she's a Figma doll. Like the character design is a Figma doll because the real Herta is not actually there. She's using the doll to like walk around and do stuff. Like it's like she's using a VR whatever. But anyway, the point is Hoyoverse is really good at attention to detail. Like I said earlier, it's all about the style, the presentation, the cool, the wow factor, the use of a vibrant color palette, the character design, the like even the outfits. Like I remember someone was telling me, I forgot who it was. Someone was telling me that they're like an artist. They do artists or they do like freelance artist stuff for designer work, and they were telling me that they would try to draw like the Genshin Impact characters. They've tried to draw characters from like other series as well, but one thing that they found very fascinating about the Genshin character designs, and that applies to the Honkai stuff too, like this game. The outfits are so like intricately detailed that it's hard for the artist to replicate the exact outfit design. So people who like cosplay, like to make accurate costume design depending on the character, like look at his shirt. Look at his shirt. He's got like dual zippers on the collar part. He's got like this weird flame or flower design on the upper part of his shirt. He's got this weird like bronze colored thing. He's got like a Sephiroth shoulder pad on this side. He's got some other thing. It's an asymmetrical outfit. He's got like a belt thing, all this stuff. Like just look, that's just one character. He's got like a samurai glove on his right hand, but the left hand he doesn't have that. He has a long sleeve. 2-zipper shirt. That's new to me. Yeah, see, like this is what I'm talking about. Like look what's in. He's got like an earring thing that like he's got a piercing that looks like it's for like glasses, but then it goes around and then it's like a thing on the ear over here. Like it's crazy design, and then he's got like some kind of weird like eyeliner thing going on there, and it's actually asymmetrical. Like the eyeliner on the left eye is like a deep red, and on the right eye it's like a you know, like a lighter color. So that's what I mean. Like the character designs themselves. Like Himiko has a jacket that it's like, how does this not like fly off of her? Because this side, she isn't even wearing the sleeve. Then she's got the sleeve on this side. She's got some kind of like weird movie tickets or something in her pocket. There's like a pen or a cigarette thingy from like the 1800s or whatever in the other pocket. 2 buttons up there. Whatever this thing is down there, like at the bottom of that. And then there's like 2 more buttons and stuff. It looks like some kind of admiral jacket. This thing in the hair, this gold stuff with the ray tracing on the whatever. It's not real RT, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like the character design, the designs are very, very unique. They stand out in terms of like how they've designed all the characters. Like the Herta doll has like a, like some kind of what do you call this? Like a hat that a painter from Italy has or something. I don't know. Like, and then there's this weird hair tie thing in the back. So just a lot of detail, a lot of attention to detail. I guess we need to go this way. Oh, beret. Yeah, okay, it's probably beret.
This will strengthen our position.
Okay, is that guy weak to... Uh-oh. I'd rather not fight that guy, but I guess we don't have a choice. Oh wow, none of these guys are weak to Dan Hung. Or Himiko. That's not good. Or Herda. They're only weak to Sushang.
This big diamond, it's all yours. Time to twirl.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
You're fighting a floating fish. A koi fish. In a teapot. It's a teapot mechanical fish robot that flies and spouts fire. Like, that's the design. That's like,
And I'm no exception.
I find it fascinating because I'm not like an artist, right? So I don't know how they get the inspiration, how they come up with like the enemy designs, not just the character designs, but the enemy designs. And then the moves, like the ults, how the ults are gonna be, the camera angles, all that stuff.
Power of the Cloud Knights.
Who Dan Hung, his lines. Oh man, we gotta heal up. Where's the closest? Okay, it's not too far. I need to heal first before, because I don't have a healer, I don't have a tank.
This will strengthen our position.
Upgrade configured.
Alright. What I like about it is you can buff outside before battle, and they keep it until you do the fight. So Sushang's gonna get this guy.
You won't get away. Time to twirl. No more playing nice.
No more playing nice.
Rise, Phoenix.
You know that NVIDIA will do... Oh, you know what NVIDIA will do? They will show the 4060 compared to 3060 at 1080p without RT, and then they will try to show DLSS 3 to make... Yes, they're gonna use... They are definitely going to leverage DLSS 3.
Cloud Knights.
Because they already did that with the 4060 Ti. Uh-oh, this thing sees me. Well, got owned.
You won't get away.
Ha! Wow. Didn't even get a chance to do anything.
Get it now? That's the power of the Cloud Knights.
Wait a minute. There's a puzzle? There's some random puzzle that I didn't know about that I haven't done? Oh, wait. There.
Piece of cake.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh, look at that.
Musketeer's armor piece. Or a relic, that's pretty good. The amount of concentration. Yeah. But I think what they'll do, though, going back to 4060, I think what they'll do is they're going to definitely leverage DLSS 3 because that's a huge selling point for the 40 series. See, the thing that a lot of people don't realize, because the tech press has done a really good job of doing an apples to apples comparison, and I think that's the right way to do it, objectively speaking. But NVIDIA is banking on the fact that they've made DLSS 3, they've restricted DLSS 3 to the RTX 40 series as a means to entice gamers to upgrade to the 40 series. So they're really trying to leverage DLSS 3 as the generational improvement over the last generation. So without DLSS 3, the 4060 would be a very hard sell compared to the last generation. Because then at that point, the only thing that it has is the better RT performance, which, as we already know, like, not all games use RT, and even if they do, within that subset of games that do use RT, not all games use RT equally, or even the same. Like, so you get high degree of variability, assuming the games actually have RT. Alright, where do I need to go? I need to go way over there. So we can go back to the... Oh, that's not the entrance. So I need to go all the way around. Yeah, I'm trying to farm up some of these. I'm trying to get... pre-farm this stuff. Because I need this... I need this to prepare for leveling up a healer, because I only have one healer, and I'm definitely going to try to get, what's his name, Luocha on the next banner, because I need a second healer for Memory of Chaos. Basically for the endgame content. And the other thing, too, is I'm getting dangerously close to the world level up, so I'm going to be able to go to level 80 soon, and I really don't have the resources to handle level 80 content. Man, see, this is why erudition characters, I think... I like destruction characters the most, but erudition characters, when it comes to, like, this casual farming stuff like this, erudition characters are the best ones, because they AoE hit every enemy, they basically clear the field of all the trash mobs, and they make it so much faster. So, Herta and Himiko together... is like such a good combination, because they just time to twirl. It's like Himiko's drone attack causes Herta to do her time to twirl. Then the time to twirl, if it breaks more than 2 enemies, then it triggers Himiko's drone attack again. Then if another enemy falls below 50%, that triggers Herta to do time to twirl again. So you can literally loop the 2 of them with their auto abilities over and over again. But I can't... am I like the only one that noticed that Herta's doll is literally a Figma? Like, her ball joints, you can even see the articulation points on that. Herta looks like she could be a cameo in Lies of P. Like, Lies of P, the game about Pinocchio, the dolls and stuff, like the puppets. This character's a puppet, so basically, like, she could be a cameo in Lies of P. And since that game's made by some Korean developer, they should probably reach out to Hoyoverse. I think that the collaboration could be pretty good. Just have Herta in there as, like, a optional boss or something. That would be pretty dope. That would be pretty awesome.
Burn away.
No, you can't do that. Boom, get that. The only Figma I know is that designer website? No, I'm talking about the Good Smile Company Figmas, like the action figures for various different animes.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision.
I have something for you.
She's like, I have something for you. Okay, watch this. If she can do... Oh, she can't hit all the characters? Alright, whatever. Hit these 3. Because see, that triggers time to twirl. Then time to twirl hits everyone. If I can get a character to go below 50%...
Do you know who I am?
It'll trigger time to twirl. Oh no, it'll trigger, yeah, it'll trigger time to twirl again. And then if I break a character, any character, which in this case, none of them are weak to ice, so it's not going to work. But if that did happen, that would trigger Himiko's drone attack again.
This big diamond, it's all yours. Time to twirl.
See, time to twirl activated again on her own ult.
Fighting is meaningless.
Oh, I should have saved that for Sushang. I messed up, but that's okay. We get the break. So watch. This is gonna... Sushang is gonna cause Himiko to do the drone attack. Then that's gonna trigger Herta to do time to twirl. Then Himiko gets another turn. Then Herta gets her own turn. See? See? I said it. I called it, and it actually happened. See? It played out just like I said it was gonna play out. Alright, and then just whatever. Like,
I have something for you.
Shape of Tyson.
take this.
Rise me.
I think out of all the characters, Su Shang has the most hilarious dialogue. By far.
Step closer to the sky.
Himiko, the funniest thing that Himiko says is like, well, it's not really funny. I find it amusing because it's like, if she gets hit really hard by a boss or an enemy, she's like, you've got some nerve. But Su Shang's the best one. Because it's like, if she gets hit by an enemy and she takes a lot of damage, her response is, do your hands hurt? Because she's all about being tough. Anyway, do we really need to fight these guys? Dan Hung is a little bit kind of low on health. I don't see a weakness to Dan Hung. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove him because he's low. And we're going to bring in Jing Yuan. Because I think they're weak to lightning. Oh, they're not weak to lightning. Never mind. We're going to bring in Clara. They're weak to physical attacks. So actually, you know what? They're weak to quantum. So I'm actually going to bring in Silverwolf. Because she will actually add additional elemental weaknesses. So maybe if one of the enemies has, say, a weakness, or they don't have a weakness to quantum, she'll add quantum or something else. Oh, I don't have the... Uh-oh! I don't have the buff. I don't have the buff. Is there a buff around? I think I ran out of them. Alright, whatever. We'll just fight them the old-fashioned way. Yeah, we'll just have to fight them this way. Wait, what? That one's not weak to physical? Okay, see, this is the reason why Silverwolf is around.
Time for an overhaul.
Because right now, like, none of these guys are weak. Like, these two are not weak to her, so we're just gonna have to make them become weak to them.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Want to see what I can do?
Want to see what I can do?
Dodge this!
You won't get away.
Well, that other guy up there died. Okay, what she can do is time for a bug. But this thing will probably die.
Time for a buzz.
It died. Uh-oh. Man, I'm getting lucky with these, like, trotter things showing up.
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours!
You won't get away.
You won't get away, and then time to twirl. And then Su Shang. And she'll attack the trotter. And then Himiko will attack the middle one because this will trigger the time to twirl. Oh, never mind, because it didn't go below.
Time for a buzz.
Actually, I should be attacking the trotter. I'm doing the wrong attack.
This
Whoops.
combat needs optimizing.
Okay, attack the trotter.
This is double speed. Oh dear.
Just attack him.
Time to twirl.
Because that'll do time to twirl.
Dodge this.
That'll do the break.
More energy.
Not enough stacks.
Let me through.
Because that dude, the little trotter thing, gets you extra stuff. So now let me see how many do I have. Now I'm at 306. So that's good. I think we're good now. Because I sent those guys to go and get these things. Oh wait, there's one nearby. Oh, another one! What? I'm getting super lucky. Because these guys give me some really good loot.
Want to see what I can do?
Here, do that.
Perhaps you still
Oh, I should have let Silverwolf go first, then do this. Because Silverwolf might have added the weakness for fire.
Time for a buzz. Oh dear.
She added fire. Yeah, I messed up. I should have gone... whatever. It's too late now. That's the thing about these type of games. You always want to try to make the most optimal play. It's just like playing a card game. Like, you want to make the most optimal play. Least amount of turns. Most amount of, like, the way to optimize your strategy. I like that. What does that do? Oh, he just does that?
You're not going anywhere. Time for a buzz. Honored to meet me.
Yeah, this one's gonna die.
This is double speed. I won't break.
Again?
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours!
You won't get away.
Time to twirl! No more playing nice. Stop this!
I have something for you.
Oh, he got up. I probably should have left that guy frozen, to be honest.
Oh dear.
Oh, good. She added fire. She added fire weakness.
Time to twirl! Take this! Shape and rise, Venus! Dodge this!
Got it.
Time for an overhaul. Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
See, we got immortal we got some good item from that. This thing. I got these, or this and some other one from those trotters.
Time to twirl!
You won't get away.
Oh, those drop extinguish cores. So actually, I've been collecting these too. That's actually what I need also. So this little farming trip actually paid off. And I found stuff that I thought I already had, but apparently I never solved these puzzles. We want to like rotate. This. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Do... No. We need to get this one, no, this plane up. Whoops. There we go.
Piece of cake.
Apparently, there were puzzles that I never got. Unless they add them back over time? I guess I just never did those. Oh wait, there's even another one. Surprised that I never did these. I thought I cleared like 100% of all the content that was in here. Oh, wait, there's even like a thing over here. How did I not see that? Because I never ran through here. Okay, so we need to get that. Yeah, we need to get this, and I need to get This, and then this. Oh wait, they're on the wrong side. There. New treasure can be obtained. Man, that helps because it's like that does help me get closer to the next Trailblazer level. But anyway, was there a quest that popped up? That was pretty good. I didn't know I had treasure. What is this? There's more? I didn't expect to be streaming this long. I didn't know there were puzzles. I thought I did all the puzzles. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? This makes me think of the Genshin, like the summer event things that they had. What do I need to do? Pick up. And then go to... Oh, wait, no. Actually... Yeah, this needs to go, like, here. Hold on, that's not right. Whoops. That's not right. Oh, this goes here. And this goes here? Hey, Ray, you showed up like at the very end of the stream. You showed up at the very, very end of the stream. I didn't expect to actually be streaming for this much longer. Well, that's nice. I didn't know I'm getting all this extra stuff I didn't know about. And then it does add up. I'm getting Stellar Jade for this. What's my Stellar Jade count right now? 7,733. 7733, and we got 13 extra wishes. And then I do have like 2 on the standard saved up. I'm at 141 out of 300 on the way to choose whichever character I want. Realistically, by the time I actually hit 300, I'm probably only going to be missing, I'm guessing, either 2 or 1 of these characters. The only characters who I still need are Welt, Bronya, and Bailu, and I forgot this guy's name. But basically these 4. I have Clara, I've got Gepard, I've got Himiko, so these are the only 4 that I'm missing. I got 3 out of 7 right now. So when I pull the next one, then I'll be over half, I guess. So is there another one? Hey, there's more. Okay, let's keep doing this until I run out. There's more puzzles. Okay, this one wants this to go here. This to go... No, this one's to go here. And then this to go here. Wait a minute. Oh. Hold on. This goes... Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Something... Hold on a second. So the one that needs... This needs to go up here? And this one needs to go down here? Is the one that goes through the middle? Alright, Marcelo. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Yeah, I need to figure out what am I doing wrong. That's not supposed to go there. That needs to go, like, here. No, I think that goes... Yeah, I think that does actually go there. There. I like these puzzles. I like this in last year's Genshin Impact event, Mona's World. It was kind of like this. Who's left in the room? I don't know. I didn't even know you were still here, Joey. I thought you left a long time ago. Alright, I think this goes like this. And this one goes... Hold on. Joey lives here. You like this game? You should try it out. Okay, obviously this is not right. This game is completely free to play, by the way. It doesn't cost any money to play this game. So it's not like you have to buy the game or anything. Hold on, I think this looks right, but this one looks wrong. I think this goes here. And this one goes here. Yeah. You just download it, you just register on their website and you download the game. It's like any MMO. Like if you've ever played any MMO, it's easy to get. Same thing with that other game that you saw me play. So there's another game that you used to see me play a lot on stream at the beginning of every stream. That one's called Genshin Impact. Both that game and this game are made by the exact same game developer. Same publisher, same development company. It's called Hoyoverse. So I like it because it is free to play friendly, so you don't have to spend any money. But if you do spend money, you do get things like, for instance, you get extra like weapons and things from the battle pass. I typically, if I'm gonna spend money on the game, it's usually gonna be the battle pass, and there's a $4.99 fee for like a. I mean, I'll show it to you. Hold on, let me grab this real quick. Wait, this one had 2? Okay.
Imagine if the Divination Commission could predict how likely a person is to
But the game, like, the developers put a lot of effort into this game, or into a lot of quality. You can see, like, it's fully voiced in multiple languages. If you don't want to listen to it in English, you don't have to, because there's other languages fully voiced. It has a very good soundtrack. The game looks good. It looks modern. It doesn't have any bugs, as far as I can tell. It runs very well. But it is kind of like playing an MMO without the other players, though, because you can't interact with other players the way you can in a traditional MMO. But yeah, in terms of like money, what I usually buy is this thing, because it's like $4.99. It's like literally $5, and for basically a month. The way I see it is this $4.99 thing is like an MMO subscription. It came out in April, so it's like, I think it's almost 2 months old. It'll be 2 months old next week or sometime this week. April 26th, I think, was the release date. But usually, like for me, what I do, if I'm going to play the game long term, like I am right now, I'll buy the Express Supply Pass for $4.99 because literally this gives you like essentially 20 to 30 extra pulls. And when I say pulls, I'm talking about the banner. So, because the thing that makes this sort of game kind of a huge turnoff to other people who refuse to play this type of game is the fact that it has a gacha system. So if you're not familiar with a gacha system, it's basically it's the way you would get characters that you don't have. Like you'll get characters just from playing through the story, but the way that the way the developers have designed the game, you can't get access to all the characters in the game. It's impossible because think of it like Pokemon or any sort of franchise where you want to try to collect things. I like to think of it like a collectible trading card game, but the only thing about this game compared to a physical card game is in the physical card game, obviously, if you don't have the cards, you can either open like booster packs and pull the cards through the booster packs, which is basically what this is. Like if you were to try to pull for characters, it will be like opening booster packs from a card game. That's kind of what it's like, where you're not guaranteed a specific character that you might want. So because of that random variability in that, a lot of people don't like that, so they won't play a game like this because of that. Because they don't want random chance. They just want to be able to play as the characters. They want to collect all the characters, but they can't do it because it's not like a true trading card game. Because, like, for instance, if I have a character that you want and you have a character that I want, we can't trade characters like we could if it was a physical card game in the real world. But what this game does do to try to circumvent that to some extent is it allows you to group up with other... Well, you can, like, summon temporarily another player's character that they have. Like, for example, in my case, I have... so I have Himiko selected as my support character. So what that means is if somebody wants to fight a boss, do a boss fight, or they want to like just farm for materials or whatever, they can call my Himiko into their world and they can control my Himiko character as though she was a character in their roster, even though they don't actually have the character. And it would be my character's level, so level 66 with the attack stat, defense stat, etc. That I have. So that's one of the ways that I think that it allows you to get access to characters that you don't have in your collection. So that I actually really like that feature because this is a feature that their previous game, Genshin Impact, doesn't actually have. So you can't borrow someone else's character that you don't have in that game, but you can in this game. So that's really cool, actually. That's probably one of the more interesting features that this game has. So that's kind of like the multiplayer, live service type features that exist in this game. But yeah, like the thing is, it's completely free to play. So it's like if you just want to try it out, it doesn't cost you anything to try it out. And it has a good story, it has a good soundtrack, it has a good like game design overall, and it's very easy to play. It's not like it's super hard to play. It doesn't require insane reflexes like Elden Ring and those type of games. So, and if you die, you just basically respawn back at the last save point. Or respawn point. Actually, let me see if there's another puzzle for me to do. Okay, so she does add more. I feel like this might be like a weekly thing. I might need to check in on this NPC more often. Yeah, but it's a cool game. I like it. I actually knew nothing about this game ahead of time. Like, I knew about the previous games, like Honkai Impact the Third and all those other stuff, and the Honkai universe in general, but I never actually played the previous games related to this game, like the franchise. Like, this is the first game that I've played that has anything to do with the Honkai IP. Like, this is it. Like, I don't know anything about any of the characters prior to this game, so it's all new to me. But from my point of view, the game is very good. It stands strong as a standalone product for people who have no history with the characters, backstories, and that sort of thing for the previous games. Yeah. Yeah, but like Genshin Impact and this game are completely free to play. So it's like you don't have to spend any money. You can just like download the game and try it out. See how it runs on your computer. I mean, this game is not really that intensive to run compared to, you know, like, typically all the 3D Mark benchmarks that you run are far more demanding than this game. Like, I'm running this game, I'll show you the settings, but I'm basically running it maxed out. So if you can see, so I'm running it at 4K, native resolution. The game, unfortunately, caps it at 60. You can't go beyond that. But it runs at solid 60 all time. VSync on or off doesn't really matter. In my case, I'm running a 144 hertz monitor, and it's capped at 60, so it doesn't make any difference. And then rendering quality, you can actually like render it at like double if you wanted, but I've tested it, and it doesn't make any difference in terms of how the visuals look, because it's kind of a cartoony looking game. So I just leave it on native 4K, and then shadow quality high. Reflection, very high. Basically, I max everything out. Character detail, high. Very high environment, very high, etc. TAA. What's interesting about the other game actually has FSR2. Like, Genshin Impact has FSR2 as of... I don't know when they added it, but it's been in there for like a year at least. But this game doesn't have FSR2. I have a feeling they'll probably add FSR at some point. And then light quality, very high. So, you know, it's easy. It's easy to run. Of course, you know, I'm saying that as someone who's using a 7900 XTX to play the game. So I might not be the most accurate representation of the average experience playing this game. But, you know, you could be the judge of that. You could test the game on your own system and see how it runs. Yeah, I remember you commented, like, your wife saw me playing Genshin Impact on one of my streams a while back, and she commented about how that game looks interesting. This game's similar, made by the same people. I think there's actually a different team made this game within the publisher, or with the dev studio. But it's a different kind of game, though. This game is more of a strategy game, whereas the other game, Genshin, is like a action game. So this game is more strategic in terms of... Well, that game has strategy to it as well. But this game's combat system, as you could see earlier... Let me just go to a place where there's like a... What is this? Let me just go to the city real quick. Let me see. If I have 10 of the thing, I'll do like a fight here. Oh, we just need one more. I have to wait like 5 minutes. But anyway, I don't really want to keep the stream going. It's really late. But let me see what I've gotten here. So I can get something from the shop. I can spend 70. I'll probably grab 7 of these. So that puts me over the threshold. So because I bought this stuff from the shop with the in-game currency, I can get these as a reward. This is like the most important thing. This is the most important resource in the game, because Stellar Jade, just FYI, this is the material that you would use to play the gacha to see if you can get a character. So I'm currently sitting on 7,828 of the stellar jade currency, and I have additional 13 tickets. So I won't use any of this until, see where it says 10 days? Under contract 0, it says 10 days, 12 hours. So that's a timer. So basically after 10, when this timer hits 0, this character on the screen, she disappears. And those 3 characters that are also shown, they all disappear. They get replaced by a completely different character and 3 other characters. It's a new banner. I like to think of it as a new booster pack if it was a card game. It's like, oh, now another booster pack is coming in. So this one's going to be removed. A new one's going to replace it in 10 days, 12 hours. So, and I'm basically waiting for those 10 days to go by because I don't need this. I already pulled the character from this booster set, so to speak, this banner, and I don't need this character anymore because I already have a character, obviously, in my collection. So now I'm just going to wait until the next one comes out, and I'm going to roll for the next one. And that's typically how the gacha mechanic works. So the one thing that also is a huge turnoff to people and prevents them from playing this game is the very controversial fact that you're not guaranteed to get the character in the booster pack unless you like fail to get the character. So what I mean by that is if I, like, let's say I want to get this character called Silverwolf. So she's the rare 5-star character, and then you have these other extra 4-star characters here. So let's say I roll, and it says you're gonna get the secret rare character. The thing is, there's a 50% chance that I'm gonna get Silverwolf, and there's a 50% chance that it will not be Silverwolf. If it's not Silverwolf, it is a 1 out of 7, because there's 7 of them. I'll show you here, view details. So, where's the scroll? Okay. So, basically, there's a 50% chance that it'll be Silverwolf. But if it's not Silverwolf, it'll be 1 out of these other 7 characters. Himiko, Welt, Bronya, Bailu, Yanqing, Clara, and Japard. So you're not guaranteed Silverwolf. That's the thing that's very controversial, and that's the reason why some people refuse to play these type of games, because if they can't guarantee that character that is advertised, then, you know, why bother? But the way it works is, if you don't get Silverwolf and you pull one of these other 7 characters, then the next time that you're guaranteed, or you actually pull a 5-star, it will 100% be Silverwolf. So that way, if you fail the first time, if you lose what they call the 50-50, then the next one will be a 100% chance. So sometimes what people do is, I don't agree with doing this strategy because I think it's a stupid waste of resources, but people will roll for Silverwolf as an example, but they don't want her. They don't want the character. They don't care about the character. They don't want her in their collection. So they're going to hope that they lose the 50-50. So basically, it's like a coin toss, right? Like if it's heads, it's Silverwolf. If it's tails, it's one of these other 7. So, but they're hoping that it's tails, so they can get one of the other 7, because they probably don't have like a lot of those other characters. Like in my case, I don't have any of these 4 that you see on the right-hand side. I don't have Welt, Yanqing, Bronya, or Bailu. I only have Silverwolf, Himiko, Japard, and Clara. Interesting how it's broken up that way. So I don't have those other 4 characters. So like if I lose the 50-50 and I get somebody else, there's a high probability that it's like a 50% chance within that 50% chance that I will get one of the 4 characters that I don't have. So, and that would be good because I don't have them. So it's like a collectible thing, so to speak. It's very easy to equate it to a trading card game, but because it's not a physical card game, you can't outright just buy the character. There's none of that. So that's why it's kind of a, I don't want to say controversial. That's kind of a very strong word, but it's like it's very off-putting to certain people, and that's why not everybody. It's a game that's not for everyone. But if you ignore all of that, as a whole, the game overall is very high quality. It's actually a very good game on its own. So, just that one asterisk around the whole like gotcha mechanic. But anyway, that's pretty much gonna be it for this stream. Yeah, I think I went way over. I did like 3 hours, even though I said I was probably gonna do like 2.5. So anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this stream. I will be back later in the week with Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole game on stream because I really, really want to play the game. So I'm probably gonna do like some of it on stream, some of it off stream. Definitely like the post-game stuff will probably be done on stream because that's relatively easy to do. But anyway, we'll see you back then. And with that being said, once again, everybody, thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.